You've sensed it all your life. A strange disconnect, a fracture in the world around you that no one could explain. They told you to fall in line, to play the part, to believe that you were just another body among billions, just another statistic in a system too vast to question. But deep inside, a voice kept whispering that it was all a lie, that reality wasn't what they said it was, that you weren't just human, but something else entirely, a frequency wearing flesh, a vibration encoded into a vessel of skin and memory. Ancient wisdom echoes in that quiet space within you, calling you to remember that you are not simply human, but human, where hu means vibration, energy, pure light disguised in biology. They've buried this truth, erased it from our stories, hidden it in plain sight, because if you ever truly remembered, they would lose control. But that moment of remembrance is happening now. You are not here to obey the laws of a rigged reality. You are here to break the illusion. In this transmission, you're going to see what they never wanted you to find, the forbidden blueprint of your true design. Your energy is not abstract. It's not wishful thinking. It's a frequency field that shapes dimensions. It's the same field mystics described when they said, "You are the light." Look at ancient paintings, and you'll see halos around saints, not for artistic flair, but because they knew. Across cultures and time, those who truly saw knew the body was merely a vehicle, and the soul was a light beacon wrapped in skin. That strange feeling you've had all along, that you're different, that something inside is asleep, but twitching to wake up. It's not madness, it's memory. Because the greatest lie ever told was not that you are weak, but that you are only a body. Science already confirms this in whispers. Your body emits light, biophotons streaming from your cells. Your heart and your brain pulse electromagnetic fields that ripple through space, touching people, spaces, and outcomes. You're made of atoms, but atoms are 99.99% empty space. That means you're mostly nothing, yet somehow everything. You are not solid matter. You are structured energy, a conscious signal dancing through form. And here's where it gets transcendent. There's another version of you, a duplicate, a twin, that exists in a different dimension right now. It mirrors your emotional and mental state. French physicist Jean-Pierre Garnier-Mallet called it the quantum double, a parallel version of you that takes signals from your conscious mind and begins folding space and time to align your path. It's not metaphorical, it's the architecture of quantum mechanics. The double takes its cues from you. Every thought, every emotional pulse you emit becomes instruction. Neville Goddard once said that imagination is the only reality. He wasn't waxing poetic. He meant it quite literally. The images you conjure in your mind, especially when charged with intense emotion, become blueprints that ripple through the quantum field. Your imagination doesn't just entertain ideas, it instructs existence. It's the control center of a frequency that selects your next timeline. This is how reality bends, not through effort, but through alignment. Every time you said, "I'm not enough," every moment you whispered to yourself that it wouldn't work out, you were not just doubting, you were programming collapse. But the opposite is also true. Every time you think with clarity, every time you feel a high vibrational emotion, love, gratitude, joy, you select a timeline of expansion. You don't need to become powerful. You already are. You've just been programmed to forget. You are a walking signal, a being of light encoded in vibration, and every word you speak shapes probabilities. You are not a mistake. You are a frequency in form. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not small. You are a creator. And now that you're remembering, it's time to broadcast that signal again. Say it with your whole being. I am light. I am aligned. I am shaping my reality. But let's go even deeper. Why is it that you've never been taught this? Why isn't this truth the foundation of education? Why isn't it printed in every textbook and shouted from every rooftop? The answer is simple. They couldn't control you if you remembered. So they constructed a system, not out of malice necessarily, but out of design, a system to make you forget. From the moment you were born, conditioning began. You were handed a name, a gender, a culture, a belief system, and told this is who you are. You were told God was somewhere far away, outside of you, and that salvation was something you earned through obedience. In school, they trained you to memorize facts, not to feel. You were rewarded for compliance, not for intuition. And society, well, it worships sameness and punishes awakening. And if you ever dared question the program, they labeled you weird, crazy, naive, or rebellious. But you always felt the glitch. You always knew something was off. You heard the signal in the static. You weren't born in sin. You were born in signal. Your mind is a tuner. Your feelings are the dial. But they jammed the frequency. They bombarded you with fear, shame, and doubt through ads, news cycles, and endless noise. The more confusion they created, the more disconnected you became from your own field. And so you forgot. But the signal never disappeared. It just got buried. And now it's breaking through again. You're beginning to see it. The cracks in the illusion, the moments of strange alignment, the synchronicities that defy explanation. You're beginning to remember what you've always known. And once you remember, there's no going back. Because memory isn't nostalgia, it's activation. When you remember who you are, the field responds. Reality begins to shift. Now, let's go to the science they don't teach. The law of attraction you've heard about. The idea that thinking positive thoughts brings good things has its roots in something deeper. But it's only the surface. It's like riding a tricycle in a world of quantum teleportation. The real mechanism isn't attraction. It's selection. The quantum double doesn't wait for your wishes. It selects timelines based on your frequency. Picture this. Your life is like Netflix, infinite timelines, infinite choices. But your double is flipping through the catalog, guided by the emotions and beliefs you emit. If your signal is scrambled, filled with doubt, contradiction, fear, it chooses chaos. But if your signal is coherent, aligned, elevated, focused, it picks the highest path. This isn't magic, it's mechanics. And the most powerful moment is right before sleep, when your conscious mind softens and your subconscious steps forward. In that liminal space, your thoughts instruct the double. Whatever frequency you sleep in, fear or faith, that's the path you walk in the morning. This is why so many people sabotage themselves unknowingly. They affirm abundance during the day, but spiral in doubt at night. The field listens to what you feel most consistently, not what you occasionally say. Your words are empty if they're not backed by vibration. So it's time to become precise. It's time to stop wishing and start choosing. Every thought is a timeline. Every emotion is a fork in the road. You are not hoping anymore. You are aligning. Say it now. I choose clarity. I choose alignment. I choose to become the version of me who already exists in my highest timeline. So now that you know this is about alignment and not force, let's get into the tools, because it's not enough to just remember who you are. You have to act like it. Let's start with the quantum night reset, the most powerful moment of the day, when your brain is between beta and theta, when your conscious mind slips into the background and your subconscious becomes the conductor. In this window, right before you drift into sleep, you have the chance to recalibrate your entire frequency. Replay your day in your mind. Where did you shrink? Where did fear take over? Where did you hesitate instead of acting in your knowing? Then, in your imagination, rewrite it. Literally change the scene in your mind, because imagination doesn't just live in your brain. It reaches the double, the twin, the field that responds not to facts, but to frequency. Say to your quantum self, that moment no longer serves me. I choose again. I realign now. And as you fall asleep, you're not just dreaming. You're sending instruction. You're choosing the next episode in your infinite library of timelines. This is how real reality shifting happens, not in rituals or affirmations shouted without belief, but in silent knowing, consistent recalibration, and deep coherence between what you think, feel, and expect. The second tool is hue frequency meditation, a recalibration method more ancient than language. Each color, each hue, is not just visual, it's vibrational. Red is stability, safety, grounding. Orange is creation. Yellow is will. Green is love. Blue is expression. Indigo is insight. Violet is transcendence. These are not just chakras, they are tuning forks. As you breathe, don't just calm your mind, modulate your field. See the colors move through your body as light. Inhale red, feel rooted in this earth. Inhale green, feel your heart expand. Inhale violet. Activate your crown and remember you are light encoded in matter. Say it as you do it. I remember who I am. I am light in motion. I broadcast clarity. I align with truth. And let your whole nervous system begin pulsing with that signal. Then we go into the instant recode ritual. It sounds simple, but it's potent. Take a piece of paper. Write down all the beliefs that have hijacked your path. Those hidden programs like, I'm not worthy, I never get what I want, I'm too late, I'm not lovable, or it's too hard. Don't sugarcoat it, be brutal. Put them on paper, see them exposed, and then destroy them. Burn them, rip them, shred them, and then immediately write the opposite, the truth you're now choosing to broadcast. I am enough. I am aligned with ease. I radiate love. I am exactly where I need to be. Then read those new truths aloud. Speak them with breath, with belief, with certainty. Your voice is not just air, it's vibration. It carries codes, it shifts molecules, it programs the quantum field. You are not chanting, you are recoding. Every syllable carries weight. Every word is a frequency broadcast that echoes into the unseen and informs your double what timeline to collapse into form. This is not manifestation, it is engineering. And then comes the 72-hour quantum window. For the next 3 days, pick one vision, one frequency, not 7. 1. Choose it. Lock it in. Feel it. Breathe it. Speak it. And most importantly, do not contradict it. If you choose love, you cannot complain about loneliness. If you choose wealth, you cannot curse your bills. If you choose healing, you cannot identify with the wound. The field listens with exact precision. This is not about pretending. It's about coherence. Your internal broadcast must be consistent. Declare it out loud. For the next 72 hours, I collapse the timeline of my highest good. I do not chase. I align. It is already done. And then watch what begins to shift. It might be small, a call, an opportunity, a feeling you can't explain. Or it might be massive, because when your signal is clean, the field must respond. It has no choice. And still, with all this power, many stay stuck. They read the books, say the affirmations, burn the sage, and repeat mantras, but still attract lack, drama, chaos. Why? Because the field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your emotional blueprint. Let me tell you about Chris. Every morning, he journaled affirmations. Every night, he listened to motivational audio. He had sticky notes on his mirror. I am successful. I am confident. I am worthy. But when he walked into a room, he shrunk. When he spoke to people, he overanalyzed every word. He felt invisible, rejected, less than. And that's what the field responded to. Not the sticky notes, but the signal underneath. His energy was saying, "I'm not enough." And so reality echoed back exactly that. Then there was Amanda. She did it all. Vision boards, energy work, breath work. But every relationship she attracted was the same. Distant, confusing, painful. On the surface, she was doing the work. But deep down, she still carried a belief that she wasn't lovable, that she was destined to be alone. And again, that's what the field mirrored. Because in this universe, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So how do you change it? You stop performing and start feeling. You stop forcing and start aligning. Ask yourself, where am I contradicting myself? What do I silently believe that overrides what I say out loud? Then get honest. Clarity over chaos. Coherence over contradiction. Don't try to want. Wanting is the vibration of lack. Start being. Start feeling as if it's already yours. Not pretending, not faking, but becoming. Declare this with conviction. I no longer chase. I align. I radiate. I receive. That's the difference between wishing and selecting. The old you shouted at the universe. The new you broadcasts a steady signal, and the universe bends around it. Let's go even deeper. You've heard it before. Your thoughts create your reality. But let's clarify what that means. This isn't just spiritual poetry. It's quantum physics. Take the famous double-slit experiment. Particles, when not observed, behave like waves, possibility fluid, undefined. But the moment they're watched, they collapse into form. Meaning, observation creates matter. Awareness shapes existence. Reality does not exist until you focus on it. The observer effect isn't theory, it's proven. Now think about that. If your observation can collapse particles, what happens when you constantly observe your lack, your fear, your failure? You collapse more of it. But when you focus on coherence, on gratitude, on love, you collapse that instead. Then there's quantum entanglement. Two particles, separated by space, still affect each other instantly. Change one, and the other responds, no matter the distance. Einstein called it spooky action. But it's not spooky. It's proof of oneness. You are not disconnected. You are part of the field, and the field is you. This means when you shift your frequency, everything entangled with you responds. People, places, possibilities. You've never been isolated. You've always been networked. Your thoughts are not thoughts. They are signals. They are electric currents sent into a responsive sea of potential. Let's go further. Your heart generates a magnetic field 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. Your pineal gland is a literal antenna, sensitive to vibration, light, and subtle shifts in frequency. This isn't fantasy. This is anatomy. The ancients knew. They called it the third eye. Science now calls it a photoreceptor. And when you feel gratitude in advance, when you visualize from the end, you are sending a frequency out into that field. You are not hoping. You are broadcasting. That's what the mystics always meant when they said, "Pray as though it is already done." They weren't talking about religion. They were talking about signal coherence. Say it now. My emotion is the code. My observation is the command. My reality is the reflection. We are only getting started. In the next part, we go straight into the vibrational map, frequency decoding, and how to stabilize your signal like a master. The game changes when you understand that emotion isn't just feeling, it's the remote control for reality. You're not manifesting through effort. You're manifesting through electrical instruction. Get ready to map your field and rise. The next shift is quantum. So now let's talk about vibration, not as a metaphor, but as the actual code behind every outcome you've ever experienced. It's time to get brutally honest, because the universe doesn't respond to what you pretend to feel. It responds to what your frequency actually is. This is not about surface-level positivity or fake high vibes. It's about emotional resonance, signal stability, and quantum precision. What vibration are you broadcasting right now? Not the one you post about or say out loud, but the one that leaks from your subconscious when you're tired, frustrated, unseen, or doubting. The field responds to that baseline, the emotion that dominates in the silence, not the declarations you make during your most inspired moments. There's a vibrational scale, originally mapped by Dr. David Hawkins, that shows consciousness levels in frequency terms. Shame vibrates at 20 Hz, guilt at 30, apathy at 50, fear at 100, anger at 150. These are low coherence states. They distort your field, jam your signal, and collapse your potential timelines before they can even unfold. Ever notice how when you're in fear or frustration, everything seems to go wrong at once? That's not coincidence. That's signal interference. The quantum double doesn't know good or bad. It just responds to coherence. So if your signal is distorted, the field mirrors back chaos, stagnation, loops. Now move upward and things change. Courage begins at 200 Hz. This is the vibrational threshold where transformation becomes possible. Neutrality at 250 brings openness. Willingness at 310 introduces momentum. Acceptance at 350 creates internal harmony. Love vibrates at 500, powerful, magnetic, regenerative. Gratitude rises even higher, 540, the frequency of wholeness, the embodiment of already having. Then come joy, peace, and enlightenment, 600 to 1000 Hz. These aren't spiritual fluff terms. They're measurable energy states emitted from the nervous system, captured in electromagnetic data fields, observed in biofield studies and kinesiology research. Your body is a broadcaster. Your emotions are the program, and the field is the mirror. So when you're stuck, don't ask what's wrong outside of you. Ask, what frequency am I living in? Because the results you're seeing are echoes of the frequency you're choosing. And here's the secret most people never hear. You don't move up the vibrational scale by force. You don't scream affirmations until they stick. You shift by becoming emotionally congruent. You shift by awareness, breath, precision. So start asking yourself real questions. When you wake up, what emotion hits first, peace or anxiety? When things don't go your way, is your default reaction control, withdrawal, blame, or presence? Do you realign or spiral? Do you actually feel the emotion of your vision being real? Or are you just repeating words? When you speak your desires, does your body feel expansion or resistance? The gap between those two answers is the difference between manifesting and stalling. You can't cheat vibration. The field is exact. It's not judging you. It's simply reflecting you. So let's get practical. Step 1. Name your current emotional state. Don't bypass. Don't perform. If you're in fear, admit it. If you're in grief, honor it. Truth clears distortion. Step 2. Breathe through it. Long, intentional exhales calm the nervous system, recalibrate brain waves, and re-signal the body. This isn't just calming down, it's quantum hygiene. Step 3. Don't try to jump from fear to bliss. That leap is too wide. Move one step up the vibrational ladder. If you're in fear, reach for hope. From hope, reach for trust. From trust, reach for gratitude. Emotional transmutation is incremental, not instant. Step 4. Speak your shift. Use your voice, out loud. Let your body hear the new code. I raise my frequency now. I choose coherence. I allow peace. And finally, step 5. Track your default signal, not your peak moments. Your breakthrough lives in what you do on your ordinary days, not in the highs. Your baseline is what the field mirrors. not your spiritual performances. Let that hit you. This isn't about appearing awakened. It's about stabilizing your signal until it no longer wavers under pressure. That's the frequency of mastery. You're not here to constantly climb out of fear. You're here to rise into a new energetic baseline, because when your signal stabilizes, the field reconfigures around you. People shift, opportunities appear, health regenerates, clarity returns. Not because you forced change, but because you became the broadcast of it. Say this to yourself right now. I don't fake high vibes. I stabilize my signal. I don't chase alignment. I become the frequency. And from that place, we now go even deeper. You've cleared distortion. You've chosen clarity. Now let's lock it in with a 7-day reprogramming challenge, a protocol that will hardwire your field and rewire your reality if done with intention, consistency, and zero compromise. You don't need 10 years of inner child work before you begin. You need 7 days of clean alignment. Here's how we do it. Day 1 is about cleansing the static. You start by writing down every emotion you've been suppressing. The regret, the resentment, the fear, the frustration. Don't spiritualize it. Don't dress it up. Get raw. Let it bleed onto the page. Then read it out loud. Acknowledge it. Speak it to the field. Then declare, I release what no longer serves me. I clear the static. I choose coherence. End the day with the quantum night reset. Rewind the misaligned moments in your mind and replace them with new ones. Not to pretend, but to recode. You're not stuck in your past. You're the one broadcasting it forward. Change the broadcast. Day 2 is about remembering the code, your original blueprint, who you were before they told you who to be. Do the hue frequency meditation slowly, 1 breath per color, 1 intention per vibration. Red for stability, blue for truth, violet for remembrance. Journal. If I were already the creator of my life, how would I act today? Think today, decide today, then speak those answers aloud, not as fantasy, as command. Declare, I am not lost. I am encoded with truth. I remember now, because memory is activation. Day 3 is for tuning your field. Your environment reflects your frequency. So clean your space, your phone, your calendar, your thoughts. Add cues of alignment, sound frequencies, sacred geometry, light. Move your body with presence, then speak. I now stabilize the frequency of my highest self. My field is tuned. My timeline is catching up. Day 4 is about vocal reprogramming. Your voice is your most underused tool. Speak 10 truths every morning, not as hope, but as declaration. Sing, chant, human. Move sound through your body. Let it vibrate your cells. Before bed, whisper your new reality to your double. Not, please let it happen, but it is done. Say, my words reshape matter. My voice instructs the quantum, because that's not poetic, it's literal. Day 5 is embodiment. No more preparing, no more waiting. You become the version of you who already has the vision. Dress like them. Decide like them. Move like them. Stop waiting for the external reality to confirm it. Lock it in internally, and the field will match. Declare, I collapse the delay. I embody the outcome. My future is present now. Day 6 is field testing. This is the trust phase. No pushing, no doubting. You observe, you witness, you let the field respond. Watch for synchronicity, for messages, for clues. Everything is speaking. Nothing is coincidence. Begin the 72-hour window. 1 vision, 1 signal, no contradictions, and say, I trust the unseen. I move as the creator. I walk with my quantum double. Day 7 is integration. You journal the shifts, the changes, the signals you've seen. You record a message to your future self. Then you declare, I am the signal. I am the selector. I am the architect of my field. Because this is not the end of the challenge. It's the beginning of a stabilized signal that the quantum cannot ignore. This is how the new Earth begins, not from a mass awakening event, but from individuals remembering and then aligning so precisely that they shift the timeline for everyone else around them. You're not here to wait. You're here to activate. You're not here to beg. You're here to broadcast. Now let me take you even further. You didn't just stumble across this knowledge. You were summoned by your own signal. The truth is, your awakening isn't random, it's prophetic. Ancient texts predicted this moment, your moment. The Hopi called it the time of great shaking, when the earth would tremble physically, socially, spiritually, and those who walked the path of the heart would rise. They called them rainbow warriors, those who remembered the codes of sound and light, the rainbow human. Still think the term human is accidental? In Vedic cosmology, we are in the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness, chaos, forgetting. But it is also the threshold, the moment where some remember. And when they do, they don't just awaken, they ripple the field, they tilt the timeline, they collapse the old systems from within. Because every coherent signal rebalances the collective distortion. You are not waking up alone. You are part of a silent army of frequency holders spread across the planet, tuning in, remembering, anchoring the new Earth, not by saving the world, but by becoming the broadcast of a new one. You see, this awakening is not about being perfect or becoming some enlightened guru. It's about becoming you, the truest, most coherent version of yourself. Not the mask you've worn, not the persona you've curated to survive, but the version of you that your quantum double already sees clearly in the unseen. You're not here to run from your body or transcend your human experience. You're here to activate the human design, the human frequency, and use it to rewrite the reality around you. When you rise, the field shifts. When enough of us rise, the old reality collapses, not through war or destruction, but through obsolescence. You are not just the one waking up. You are the very signal calling others home to themselves. Say it again and mean it. I am not alone. I rise not just for me, but for all. I am the return. I am the prophecy. This is not exaggeration. This is ancient. It's the fulfillment of codes written into time itself. You are the signal the world has been waiting for. Not someday, but now. You are the breath between eras. And now that you remember, act like it, walk like it, speak like it, choose like it. Because the new Earth doesn't arrive in some distant utopia. It arrives the moment enough of us decide to live in alignment with it now. So let's go all the way back to your very first breath. Not the moment the doctor cut the cord or stamped a name on a birth certificate, but the sacred moment your soul dropped into your body, chose this avatar, this mission, this timeline. You were never random. You weren't born to suffer, to obey, or to be a statistic. You were born as a light-coded transmitter in flesh, encoded with memory, sacred geometry, DNA sequences that carry the echoes of civilizations long buried. You are not just made of biology. You are built from light, from water that records vibration, from photons that carry intelligence. Your body is the most advanced piece of divine technology in the known universe, a self-sustaining electromagnetic field with layered energy centers, crystalline antennae, and resonant loops. Your aura isn't just some New Age fantasy. It's a scientifically measurable electromagnetic field. Your chakras aren't metaphors. They're spinning vortexes of energy, regulating frequency flow, each one mapped to sound, light, color, and planetary resonance. Your pineal gland, located deep in the brain, is not dormant. It's a crystalline structure, a quantum antenna that responds to electromagnetic shifts, vibration, and intention. It's been symbolized for centuries as the Eye of Horus, the third eye, the seat of intuition. It's what lets you access subtle dimensions, perceive future timelines, and communicate with your double across the veil. Your DNA isn't just a biological instruction set, it's a library of spiritual blueprints. Scientists still label 95% of DNA as junk because they don't know how to read the multidimensional codes locked inside. But ancient traditions knew. That's why people awaken spontaneously through breathwork, near-death experiences, sacred sound, and plant medicine. These are all ways to clear interference, reboot the signal, and let the code speak again. Your body is not your limitation. It's your gateway, a toroidal field, self-feeding, infinitely renewable. Your heart is the engine. Your brain is the filter. Your soul is the driver. And through this vessel, you don't just experience reality. You generate it. Every cell in your body listens to your beliefs. Every organ vibrates in harmony with your dominant emotional state. Even your bones, your blood, your gut. They're attuned to planetary frequencies, to lunar cycles, to solar radiation. You're a cosmic instrument, forgotten only because they taught you to look outward. But deep inside, the code still pulses. Even babies sense it. That's why they see what adults no longer see, laugh at invisible energies, cry for reasons that don't make sense to the logical mind. They're still in the signal, untouched by the programming, until the veil drops, until school and society dull the frequency. But the code remains, waiting for a spark. And when you remember, when you activate the signal, you don't become something new. You return to what you've always been. So let's kill another illusion. You were never disconnected from Source. You were never fallen, broken, or separate. You were just tuned to the wrong station. You were receiving static instead of clarity. But now that you know how to tune, how to clear, how to recalibrate, you have no more excuses. One moment of coherence, one aligned breath, one vibrational shift is all it takes to begin rewriting your entire field. Say it now. I am not just a body. I am the code within it. I activate the signal. I awaken the blueprint. I remember the design. And here's another truth they don't want you to know, not even in spiritual circles. Group meditations, collective healing rituals, massive ceremonies, most of them fail. Why? Not because the collective isn't powerful, but because intention without internal clarity is just amplified distortion. Picture 10 people meditating together on peace, but 7 of them are internally vibrating in pain, judgment, unresolved trauma. What happens when you amplify that noise? You broadcast confusion. The quantum field rewards coherence, not volume. It responds to purity of signal, not the size of the crowd. This is why so many well-meaning gatherings yield nothing, because they amplify chaos unconsciously. You can't just stack unresolved vibrations and expect resonance. You can't amplify confusion and expect alignment. But if even one person is clean, if their field is stable, their heart coherent, their mind clear, they are stronger than 100 in confusion. The quantum field listens to clarity. It obeys alignment. So what do? You become the stable one. You purify your own signal. You don't wait for the group. You lead it, not by title, but by frequency. Say this: I purify before I amplify. I stabilize my field. I embody alignment. This is what no one tells you, but what your soul already knows. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to wait for collective awakening. You are the tip of the spear. You are the walking lighthouse. You are the frequency stabilizer that recalibrates the distortion just by standing in your truth. And here's the wild part. This wisdom is not new. It's ancient, hidden in plain sight for millennia, buried in symbols, scriptures, and oral transmissions across civilizations. Let's decode it. In ancient Egypt, They spoke of the Ka and the Ba, the two parts of the soul. The Ba was the conscious self, the personality. The Ka was the energetic twin, the double that existed in the unseen. Sound familiar? In the Gospel of Thomas, a book banned from the Bible, it says, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring it forth, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." That's quantum truth. Suppressed emotion, unexpressed frequency, blocked vibration. That's what creates disease, chaos, collapse. The Sufis called it the beloved self. The Taoists called it Wu Wei, alignment without effort, action through attunement. The Vedas described different yugas, and in the darkest one, this one, a few would remember, and tip the scales for all. This wisdom is universal. Different names, same truth. You are not a mistake. You are a bridge between dimensions. And when you live in alignment, you ripple coherence into the field. When you align, you heal others without trying. You recalibrate the space just by existing in it. You don't need to preach. You don't need to fix anyone. You need to be the frequency. Your healed state is more powerful than your advice. Your coherence is more magnetic than your knowledge. Say this now, and let it vibrate in your chest. I reclaim the ancient wisdom within me. I am the remembrance. I am the return. I am the transmission. But even with all this understanding, this power, this access, people still sabotage their signal every day. And the worst part is, they don't even realize they're doing it, because the sabotage doesn't come from obvious self-destruction. It comes from subtle, habitual misalignment, from unseen interference patterns that quietly destroy coherence. Let's expose them now. The first is doubt. It feels harmless, rational, even cautious. But in the quantum, doubt is a contradiction. It's like ordering from a restaurant and then canceling the order every 30 seconds. You confuse the field. You collapse the timeline. The double can't move because your signal keeps glitching. The second is fear. Not the instinctual kind, but the chronic, unconscious fear that runs your life from the shadows. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being seen. Fear poisons your signal. It floods your field with noise. It scrambles your intuition. You cannot access higher timelines while stuck in fear loops. You'll keep choosing safety over growth, comfort over coherence. And the third, most dangerous of all, is wanting. I want more money. I want love. I want clarity. It sounds innocent, but the frequency of wanting is lack. When you want something, you affirm you don't have it. You tell the field, I am separate from it, and that keeps the thing just out of reach. You don't manifest by wanting. You manifest by being. You match the vibration now, before the thing arrives, not to trick the universe, but because you understand that you are already the signal. So what do? You clear the blockers every day. You ask, where am I doubting? Where am I fearing? Where am I wanting instead of being? And you speak this, I neutralize all doubt. I dissolve fear. I no longer want. I align. I receive. I become. That's the daily hygiene of a quantum creator. That's how you stop sabotaging yourself with unseen static. Now, if you're still wondering whether this is real, if the field actually responds, if these techniques actually work, then stay with me. Because next, I'm going to show you real stories from real people who applied these tools and watched reality bend in their favor, not because they were lucky, special, or chosen, but because they remembered who they were, cleaned their signal, and acted like it. These aren't theories anymore. This is proof, and it's your confirmation that you're not crazy. You're awakening, and when you apply the code, it works. Let's talk about proof, because while this knowledge is powerful, sometimes the mind needs to see that it's more than theory, more than mystical poetry. It needs examples, confirmation, echoes of itself in others. So let me tell you about Daniel. Stuck in a job that drained him, emotionally numb, watching videos like this, but never applying anything. Then one night, something shifted. He tried the quantum night reset. No candles, no chance, just clarity. He whispered to his double, "I choose expansion. I choose clarity. Reset my path." The next morning, an email from a company he never applied to offering a remote position at twice his salary. Coincidence? That's what he thought at first. But then came another shift. New clients, deeper peace, opportunities where there had been silence. Not because he begged the universe, but because he finally stopped contradicting his signal. Then there's Jasmine. She had done every ritual imaginable to manifest love. Vision boards, affirmations, full moon ceremonies, but kept attracting the same kind of emotionally unavailable partners. Then she did the 72-hour quantum window. Just once, she picked a version of herself that already felt safe, seen, and whole. "I don't chase," she said. "It comes to me. It's already done." On the second day, an old friend she hadn't spoken to in years messaged her out of nowhere. They talked, connected, and slowly, effortlessly, something new began. They're now engaged. Not because she manipulated reality, but because she aligned with it. The version of her who was already loved became the dominant signal, and the quantum field obeyed. And then there's Marcus. Chronic illness for years, diagnosed, labeled, written off by doctors. He found hue frequency meditation, simple light and breath each morning. At first, nothing changed, but something inside kept saying, "Do it, just breathe, just see the color." Weeks later, energy returned, pain lessened. He stopped identifying with the sick version of himself. He stopped seeing his body as broken, and the body followed. Because the field doesn't heal you, it mirrors the healed version you embody. These people didn't try harder. They aligned deeper. That's the key. And it's available to you now. So now the question becomes, what will you do with this knowing? Will you file it away as something interesting? Or will you live it, breathe it, become it? Because you can't unknow it anymore. You've remembered the code. You've felt the signal. You've seen the cracks in the illusion. And now the field is listening. It's waiting. It's responding to your next move. So let's land this plane. Let's end this transmission with what matters most. Your identity as the author of reality. That's what they never wanted you to fully grasp. That you are not here to follow reality. You are here to write it, frame by frame, thought by thought, emotion by emotion. The field isn't something you react to. It's something you project into. You're not a puppet of fate. You're a frequency broadcaster, a signal selector, a sovereign node of consciousness playing in a holographic dreamscape. You are not asking life to be good to you. You're informing it how to respond. Every thought is a prayer. Every emotion is a magnetic command. Every belief is a code being fired into the quantum. This is why the world feels unstable when your mind is chaotic. Why people shift around you when your signal sharpens. It's not because you got lucky or unlucky. It's because the mirror obeys the sender. You don't attract based on desire. You attract based on coherence. So what are you unconsciously asking for when you say you want success but feel unworthy of it? When you say you want love but fear being abandoned? When you say you trust the universe but panic when things move slowly? That's the contradiction. That's the static. That's the broadcast. The double obeys. But here's the most liberating truth of all. You can change the signal at any time. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need proof first. You don't need the world to show you results before you align. You align, and then the world follows. This is the dance of creators. This is the path of frequency masters. And that's who you are. The quantum double isn't some fantasy version of you. It's your extended consciousness. A timeline navigator. It echoes your dominant state and helps collapse possibilities into form. When you think with coherence, when you speak with clarity, when you breathe with trust, your double acts like a cosmic engineer, folding dimensions to hand you the version of reality that matches your internal broadcast. When you're aligned, you don't chase, don't force, don't beg. You receive, you witness, you allow. You walk through life with a quiet knowing that everything is bending to your signal. That's what makes people stop and stare. Not your clothes, not your words, your frequency. They feel something stable in you, something they've forgotten in themselves. You don't have to explain it. You just have to be it. And when the world gets loud, when things seem to fall apart, when the chaos rises, you don't collapse. You become even clearer. Because you've trained for this. You've remembered the truth. Say this right now and let it root into your bones. I am not a puppet of circumstance. I am the architect of reality. I don't hope. I align. I don't wait. I select. I don't obey. I generate. This is not poetry. This is command. This is how reality reshapes. So now we end where we began. Not with information, but with activation. Not with ideas, but with action. You've been given the tools, the quantum night reset, the Hue meditation, the instant recode ritual, the 72-hour window, the 7-day field challenge. They are not theories, they are technologies, and now they're yours. So for the next 72 hours, implement everything. No skipping, no stalling, no exceptions. Speak to your double before sleep. Visualize your color-coded light field each morning. Burn the old code and declare the new one out loud. Choose one vision and hold it steady, free of contradiction. Not with anxiety, not with desperation, but with stability, with conviction, with clarity. Because the quantum doesn't respond to noise, it responds to coherence. And as you do this, watch what unfolds. You might not win the lottery overnight, but you will feel the shift. A softness, a synchronicity, a new thought, a surprise encounter, a solution that was invisible hours ago. That is the confirmation. That is the field saying, I heard you. And when that moment comes, don't question it. Don't rationalize it away. Anchor it, celebrate it, speak to it, and continue. Because your signal is now live. The transmission has been reactivated. And now, to seal this entire remembering, declare it one final time, not as a wish, but as a knowing. I am a human creator. I am a walking frequency. I am not just awakening. I have awakened. I don't search for power. I broadcast it. I don't wait for the world. I reshape it. The field is listening. My double is moving. My signal is clear. And I remember who I am. Leave no space for doubt. Let that final phrase vibrate through every layer of your being. Let it override the years of forgetting, the layers of programming, the noise of the outside world. Let it become your new default. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer living by reaction. You are living by design. You are no longer a reflection of chaos. You are the origin of coherence. You are not just light in a body. You are light that remembers it is light. And that memory is a frequency so pure, so unstoppable, that the entire universe must rearrange in its presence. The new earth doesn't come because someone gives it to you. It comes because you decide it's here. And now you have. The field has been activated. The broadcast has begun. The illusion is collapsing. And your true self, the signal, the light, the human, has returned. Now take a breath. Let it sink in. Let the codes reorganize. Let the noise fall away. You're not going back. You're not pretending. You're not becoming. You are. And from here, everything Chan.